Welcome everyone to the fourth day of heal the fourth day of the challenge of healing an inner child. And my name is White, and I'm so glad that you all are with me today. So today we're gonna talk about loving ourselves because we have already talked about how the inner child's wounds creates a disassociation with ourselves for ourselves. So we're going to be talking about how to fall in love with ourselves again. And one of the things that you could mute yourself if you're not muted, please. There you go. Okay. And one of the things that we always talk about is that loving ourselves, and how important that is to love yourself, because that sets the precedence on how you relate to everyone else. So today we're going to talk about that. Um, and I'd like to ask you all a question. Have you ever felt like you were selfish? Um, have you ever felt like that? Like you were selfish, even though you were doing like 1,000 things? Have you ever felt like you were being selfish? Okay, I can see Lisa's raising her hand. Yeah, yeah. Even though you're doing everything for everybody else, you feel very selfish. Jackie said no. Okay. So loving yourself is going to seem like you being selfish. Why? Because you're going to set boundaries so that you are in a healthy place and you feel comfortable, and you're not using a lot of yourself, but you're using some of yourself for you. And loving yourself also means taking care of yourself and granting yourself grace. So, where you would give someone else grace and comfort and love, you're going to give yourself that comfort and love. You're not going to be so hard on yourself when you make a mistake or an error or miss an appointment or late for something. You're not going to be so hard on yourself. So, loving yourself is all about that. That's how you nurture the the adult in you that's going to be reparenting this child, this little child in you. So you're going to have to nurture yourself and really get close to yourself so you can get close to the inner child so you can heal. That's how you heal, is nurturing yourself and loving yourself. So I did tell you that one of my exercises, for me, because I my therapist gave me this exercise, was to stand in front of a I guess one of those long door mirrors. I don't know what they're called, but the long mirrors, and disrobe, take everything off, and just look at yourself from head to toe. And when thoughts come up to kind of criticize what you don't like about yourself, you have to then think about something, or replace that thought with something loving and gracious and kind towards yourself. So I told you that I did that, and I started to, find little things to, wrinkles, and find little things just to point out, because I was always criticizing myself. Um, and I found out a lot of times that uh, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. That comes, some things come with age, and it's just the way you wear it. It's just the way you wear things. Um, in 2000, New Year's of 2007, I was in a car accident where I was promised not to live. I had two punctured lungs, two broken hips, and like contusions and everything all over. A femur flew out of my knee, the whole big thing, right? And I call that an eye opener for me, because I kind of made it like it was a good thing, because I was able to see myself in a different light. I was able to understand a lot of things about myself and be clear about myself and what I wanted. And I was able to know what forgiveness was. Because it's different when you think that you're going to die, right? And you have an opportunity to say good things to everybody before you die, right? And I had taken that opportunity to do that. So I learned how to love myself. I had to learn how to walk all over again. I had to learn to do a lot of things. And along that walk, I've lost a lot of things. My husband decided to walk out on me. And in all of that, I learned how to love myself. I learned how to really be appreciative of where I was. So when I wear my scars, I wear them with graciousness. I know what those scars meant to me. I know what it took me to get those. So life teaches you things, and it's important that you love yourself. And that was a new love for me. That taught me how to really, really love myself. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about loving yourself and not thinking that it's selfish. Okay. When you love on yourself, you're teaching yourself the right things for you. You're tending to your own needs. Now, I know that we can all sit here and say we've tended to everybody's needs but ours. I kind of want to say we sometimes don't even know what we really want. What is it that we really want? And you probably sat and asked yourself that question a lot of times. What is it that I really want? The truth is that learning to love yourself is not selfish, but in fact, it's a way to free yourself and to be happy. So that is what we're going to go through today about loving yourself. So you want to be able to discover and cultivate deep sense of love for yourself. And when I say deep, I mean deeper than if you were in a room full of models, you would think you were the hottest stuff going on. I'm serious. Loving yourself that it radiates confidence from the inside, secure in your own life. Secure, this is where I am, who I am, what's going on, and guess what? I'm all right with that. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it. And when you get to that point that you're not easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt, doubting yourself, and having that procrastination. Some procrastination is good. Other forms that are above and beyond are not good. And any negativity, to compare yourself to another person, even if you were a twin, to compare yourself to a twin, you want to love yourself with that radiant, deep confidence that's just secure and with who you are. Okay. And comparing yourself is the worst service you could ever do to yourself, because you punish yourself badly. You punish yourself for being who you are. So many people don't realize how the law of attraction, I know you guys talk about, this, the law of attraction is part of love, because what you attract, or what you think about and what you want, you attract, right? And it's really part of self-love. If you know anything about a law of attraction, it's about energy and vibration, and it's about the universe. So you have to really know what you want. So if you're vibrating confidence, you're just like vibrating it, and it comes out strong. Guess what attracts to you? Other confident things, other happy things, other good things, other opportunities, all the things that you deserve, because it's pure flowing energy. You're vibrating, feeling good. One of the practices I have when I get up in the morning, before I even get out of the bed, is I say, thank you. And then it's going to be a great day. And then I do my 3 breaths in, and I do the biggest stretch you could ever do. The biggest stretch you can ever do with your body, and get the juices flowing. And my son always says, you're the only one that does this. But I do this because it helps me feel good in my body. If your body's feeling good and you're vibrating that good feeling, then you're going to have a good day. Now, this is what I tell my grandson. I ask him, he's 14. And when he's having a down day, he'll call me and says, I'm not having a good day. So I'll say to him, okay, Davion, think of the best time that you ever had in your life. So he sits and he thinks. I said, just pick one. I didn't say pick a couple, pick one. And then I said, and then he'll tell me. And I said, now, what was so good about when you did that? Well, when I went down a slide and I could feel the water going on my face, and he would describe it. I said, and he starts smiling, right? And I said, now that's where you should be today. Every time you think of something or you feel negative, you feel down, grab one of those good feelings to put you back into that vibration. That's why with the law of attraction, you need to feel things. So if you want a particular car, right? Or you want a particular man, you have to have a description, right? You have to know what it feels like. So you have to, when I wanted my car, I went to the dealership and sat in the car. And although it took me a year to go back and get it, but I had to sit in it and see how it felt. And this is the car I wanted. And I was able to pay for it. So the law of attraction deals with vibrations on how you feel. How I felt in that car vibrated that car for me. And what happened? Every car that I ever saw, there goes my car, there goes my car. And it was actually coming towards me. So the law of attraction and self-love are linked totally close together. If you want to feel good, you have to speak that you feel good. If you speak that you feel good, you want to have to vibrate that. You have to, it's really a vibration that you feel throughout you, a pure flow of energy. Okay. And when you feel good about yourself, you feel good about everything else. Everything is a reflection of your perceptions, your beliefs, your vibrations. Everything is part of that. So when you're healing the inner child and those wounds, everything as an adult, everything has to vibrate that feeling good. Because how did you feel when you saw your parent or someone else upset when you were a little child? You start vibrating just like that. So you don't want to pass that vibration on to the healing of your inner child. You just can't, because you are reparenting yourself. So you're going to come to you the way you would want your parent to come to you. That means to lift your spirits, make you feel like you're wanted, make you feel like you're feeling good, make you feel like you belong. So it's not selfish to love yourself first. It's essential. And we're not talking about arrogance or telling people how awesome you are. We're not talking about that. We're talking about accepting yourself on a deep human level and treating yourself with respect. Right? If you don't accept, you shouldn't accept anyone treating and saying things to you that are inappropriate or harmful, then you shouldn't be talking to yourself in that manner. Respect yourself. Close your mouth or cut off your thinking when you start talking bad. Oh, I see this wrinkle. Cut it off. Turn it around. Oh yeah, that's me getting older and getting better. So you want to turn that negative to a positive and to vibrate that great energy. So when you love yourself, you create self-confidence, you create self-worth, you create compassion, you create that. One of the biggest problems we all face in this age of, social media is we're validating ourselves through the approval of others when we don't need it. We don't need the approval. We don't need the consent. We just need to be. We need to be who we are. When we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people or have our worth tied up in their opinions of us, we're setting ourselves up for misery. I know that to be true. I know that to be part of it. Could you please mute yourself? Please, thank you. So the answer is to have that sense of self so cemented that nothing anyone can say or do can knock you from your knowledge of who you are. Do you get that? The knowledge of who you are. And how do we start that? We start that by asking ourselves, what is it that I want? Who am I? If I asked you the question right now, who you are, could you tell me in one sentence? So I think I'm going to do that. In the chat box, everyone that would like to, I'm going to ask you the question, who are you? And I want you to put it in the chat box, who you are in one sentence. Okay. It's impossible to answer, Jackie. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not impossible. It's possible, but you can't put it in words, you mean. It's not impossible. You can't put it in words. It's possible. So, all right. I'll give you a little hint, okay? Oh, here we go. I'm a survivor and a warrior, not a victim. Okay, I am a survivor and warrior and not a victim. Okay? I'm Carrie. I'm a human being. I'm in recovery. 211 sober days. Okay? All right. So let me tell you what you just did. Now, if I were to tell you, if I were to ask that question, I would say, I am a change agent. I sent here to do the job to change and challenge the minds of people, to even bring about love in my own life so it spread abroad. What we do sometimes is we describe our human nature and not the nature that we really are, which is all that great energy. You're here. The reason why you're a survivor and a warrior and a victim is because you came here to teach somebody that they can survive that in their human lives. So you're a teacher. Okay? You're a teacher. You came here to do that. You went through a situation, came out on the other end so you can help someone else come out on the other end. That's what you do. You're a human being. That's right. You're Carrie. You carry human being, and you're in recovery. I would even say this. You're not just in recovery. You're showing how strong and courageous you really are. Recovery doesn't have a great connotation, but you are showing the whole world that you have courage. That's what you're doing. You're showing that you have courage. Not that you're sober, that you have courage. Because it takes a whole lot of courage. See, you got to stick that courage in there. I don't know where you're going to put it, Carrie, but stick that courage in there somewhere. Stick it in there. Stick it in there, because I like that. You know, that courage, it takes courage to do that. You know, I know a lot of us women, and I see there's a lot of us women on here, but we have so much courage. Now, with all of that energy, all of that, what you're doing, you're healing your inner child. I'm going to tell you why you're doing it. I'm going to tell you why. Because you're all are change agents. You're on a mission. So the mission is you're going to tell, your story is going to be written in a book. You're going to be telling people about this, and people are going to be thriving, not surviving. It's different things, but they're going to thrive because of you. They're going to be changed because of you. Because Carrie showed courage, because Lisa said, hey, I'm coming out fighting. You know, she's got an armor on and everything. She's no longer a victim. She is going to come out and fight for and stand for advocacy for somebody, for something, against something. So when you're loving yourself, you don't care who is talking about what, right? You don't care. Yeah. Listen, now Carrie knows I'm not just sober, I'm courageous. So I ain't scared. I ain't scared. I am not scared, you know? So you're going to start to use words that really describe who you really are, what it takes, what energy it takes. So you see what I'm saying? So sober, but courageous, yay, it starts to vibrate something different. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, survivor, thriver, when you say it, it just makes something go through you. It's time to choose different words. Even choosing different words to describe yourself, it's important to love yourself, okay? Using different words to describe yourself, it changes things. It makes you vibrate differently. It makes a difference, okay? Thank you very much for sharing those things with us. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to take some simple ways. There are 15, but we're not going to go through all 15. But I'm going to show you some simple ways and how to incorporate self-love into your life and grow your self-esteem for a happy life, for the beginnings of a happy life as you heal your inner child, okay? This is all part of healing your inner child because we're now taking care of the adult. Because if the adult is not taking care of, the child will get the same treatment. What happens that it got in the beginning. So we don't want that. We don't want to repeat that. We don't repeat any offenses. We want to make sure that this adult is taking care of the inner child, and we're helping that inner child grow up fulfilled and making us whole and complete. Okay? So when you learn how to love yourself, the law of attraction, just what I just talked to you about, changing words, finding words that make you vibrate, make you feel like you're in power. So I want to mess with Carrie a little bit. Wonder Woman is not sober woman, right? She is Wonder Woman, right? You see how the word changes, makes things different? Even though you are the act of, you have to start describing yourself to have yourself vibrate differently. Get the benefit and the strength to continue on, to fuel that optimism you have, to fuel it, because you have optimism. And so do you, Lisa. You have the optimism. Now you need something to fuel it, to keep that like, whoo, you know, like keep it going, that flow, that, you know, to allow things to keep going positive in your life. So number one of the how to love yourself, and you can just, every time you do this, you just give yourself a big hug, because I love hug. Okay. So number one, train yourself to be positive. I told you the other day, what I do is
Video visit.
Excuse me, can you
Hyphen.
Can you, whoever's talking, can you mute yourself,
Test.
please? I'll show you how to go. Okay. So sorry about that, guys. So train yourself to be positive. So I told you the other day that I created affirmations. So you can get affirmations anywhere. Whatever vibrates with you, just don't say anything. Make sure you find affirmations and make it your business to find 3 positive affirmations, right? That feel good for you. There's thousands of them everywhere. So make sure you find them 1 or 2, no, 3, just for you. Just for you. Okay? And we are starting to journal now. So every day, write down 3 positive things about, guess who? Yourself. Yeah, a lot of work, right? I know. So you're every day train yourself to be positive about yourself. So you're going to write down every day 3 amazing things about yourself. This can be anything from your achievements in your life to your friendships, right? To your physical character, your traits, your beautiful traits. Um, so you can start to admire yourself. The reason this helps you is it trains you to look for and appreciate positives over negatives in your life. Imagine what it would feel like to praise instead of criticizing yourself. Imagine that. Imagine saying, boy, do I look good today. Just imagine it. Instead of, my hair's terrible looking. It's going to keep being terrible because you keep talking about it. And so imagine how that feels. Just saying it makes you vibrate different, right? Just saying it makes you vibrate different. Number 2, take yourself somewhere new. So I had a client that rarely went from one area to the other. So I said to her, do me a favor. Instead of sitting in your room, how about sitting in the living room? And she looked at me, she said, that's nowhere different. I said, have you been there? She goes, matter of fact, I haven't. Small steps if you have to, but go somewhere new. And then pretty soon she was walking outside. Do you know what I'm saying? So she sat on the porch. And from the porch, she walked to the sidewalk. And it was all steps. You know what I'm saying? So take yourself somewhere new. Instead of waiting for the right moment or person to come along or thing to come along, a thing to happen, why not just go to the coffee shop, go to the movies, or try a new restaurant on your own? And so instead of pizza, try something else, a taco. Go somewhere that you've never been before. When you break through the insecurities you have about doing new things and doing things solo, you deepen the connection to your true self. I was truly, I was always had my kids with me. My kids always. I was always around a bunch of, from being raised with 7 kids in the family, counting my cousin, and then going, on my own and being around my siblings and then having my children. And I dreaded being alone. So when my children grew up, I was like, oh my goodness, I have to do something. And I literally, when I moved into this apartment, I literally cried. I'm like, I feel so alone. And then I had to meet myself, and it says, you're not alone. You're just in solitaire. And I didn't even see the beauty that I had around me. I live on the waterfront. Wasn't appreciating that because I was so in the about I'm alone. And really, I'm in a great place. I can go up to the 5th floor and sit on the balcony and just relax and hear the birds chirp. Not now, but it's cold. It's cold in New York. But I could really do that when you are not taking yourself somewhere new and appreciating things and not giving yourself that solo time. You're not deepening the connections for your true self or the things around you. You're not being in the moment. You're not being in the moment. You discover the parts of you that loves who you are unconditionally. So what do you think a parent does? Parent loves you unconditionally, or supposed to love you unconditionally. You have to love you unconditionally to love and care for your inner child. 3 is travel. I never knew how important that was until I was in my 40s. I traveled the New England states when my children were younger, because I was a single mom. I didn't want to drive too far. We did travel, but I didn't know how important it was to really cultivate self-love on these trips. I didn't know that it was a wonderful way to do that, and getting to know yourself even better by introducing yourself to cultures and destinations unknown that you have no idea about. Because you will have to literally strip down any preconceptions you may have about others and yourself. My first trip, major trip, was to live in China. I lived there for 9 months um, to teach English as a second language. And I literally, my son was 23 when I left. And my oldest son was, I think he's 30, 35, 36. And I had, my daughter was in her 20s, like 27, like that. And I left and I said, I'm going to do this for myself. And I have this great opportunity. And I went. And not until I got there and slept for a full day because I was jet lagged beyond imagination. I never thought I would be jet lagged. I slept for a full day and woke up and I looked out the window and said, holy cow, I'm in a new country. Nobody's here that I could say, hey, I don't know the language. And it was so exhilarating, but scary at the same time. Yet it was fun to know the culture. It was fun to go to unknown destinations because they have so many provinces you could travel to. And it built my confidence up because I didn't speak it fluently, but I was able to get to and from my apartment every day without fail, and was able to order food without failure. So traveling, you find out a lot about yourself, and you connect with yourself on a deep level. You all know the fourth one is journaling, right? Writing is a proven therapeutic way of releasing tension and negativity. The reason why a lot of my books were written is because of that. I was releasing tension and negativity, and I was putting it in a form of a poem. I was putting it in a form of just writing like what I felt. It's an amazing process and it's a way to like let your feelings out, put the emotions on paper about yourself or your life, all through journaling. And you can go back and see how you work through the challenges. And that's even exhilarating. And what you've learned from your bad experiences, you learn to appreciate yourself more when you look back in those journals and say, man, 1985 was tough, but I'm over here in 2022. Holy crap. We don't appreciate ourselves enough. We don't celebrate ourselves enough. Number 5 is mirror work. I told you about that. That's mirror work. Looking in the mirror and looking at yourself, loving every part of you, and also saying, I love you. Just who you are. I want to be your friend. Choose words, of course, that affect you and that are incredibly powerful for you. Yes, it's going to be challenging at first, but keep at it. Look in the mirror every day. I love you just as you are, and I want to be your friend. So it builds your self-esteem, and your confidence completely soars, because we rarely look ourselves in the eyes and be really brutally honest and brutally caring. All right. Last one I think I'm going to do. No, maybe 2 more. Create a vision board. I can't tell you how much important creating a vision board is, but I go the extra mile. And if I want a physical item, like a car, I, cut it out, whichever color I want, exactly what I want, put it there. And then I go find out where that car is, and I go and test drive it or go and sit in it. Whatever it is, I go to feel it, to know it, and then I know what it feels like. Because how can you want money, right? If you want money or you want car, you want a person, How can you want those things? You want to hold hands with somebody. How can you want them if you don't know what they feel like? If it doesn't bring you that vibration. So you may want someone and you say, oh, I don't want to be lonely anymore. But is that a vibration? No, that's not a vibration. That's just a quick fix. But that's not a vibration. But if you want to be in relationship with somebody, that's this. Want somebody to be there because you're lonely. You can get a dog and not be lonely. But if you want to be in relation with somebody, that's ongoing, that's, moving, that's a moving part. That's a moving energy. So you have to create a vision board, and that's great. But when you identify what your visions are, make sure that you get in a place that you can say, okay, I need to feel this. I need to feel how this is. So if you want to go to Paris, but you don't have enough money to go to Paris, I'm gonna be honest with you. Find some place that reminds you of Paris and stand in there and bask in it. This is what it's gonna feel like when I go to Paris. Okay? Seriously, if you gotta go to a museum and just stand in the Paris area, I'm gonna visit here one day. And feel how how it makes you feel. Do it. That's the extra way to kind of like make that vibration kind of happen. Okay, last one. 7, meditate every day. I do this, I've been doing this since 2013. That's when I got involved when I came home from China. We were doing it in China. And I brought that gift to myself home. And I've been doing it since 2013. I don't go a day without doing it. No matter what, if I'm working, if I have to do anything, that comes first. Meditation comes first for me. Meditation and yoga. And I'm not a yogi. Let me just say that. I just do the stretches. I'm good. I'm happy. Keep my body limber. But the meditation is where it takes me to a better place. Now, most people believe meditation is this deep thing and you can't have nothing in your mind and nothing can be going on. Not true. There's walking meditation, right? Because you could just walk. That's meditating and you're connecting with the universe. There's literally reading meditation. There's so many ways. There's even actually exercising meditations. One meditation I like to do is I just like to sit in my chair and just breathe. I concentrate on my breathing for 15, 20, 30, sometimes 45 minutes. And guess what? When I think of something and it kind of gets me off track, that gets me off track of thinking about my breathing, then I bring myself back and say, oh, no, I'll think about that later. But I can think about things. But I'm concentrating on my breathing and I'm calm. I do that so that I have my mind and my soul, all of me, is in line, right? I find that if I don't do that practice of calming my mind, when I get up, I'm in everything is array. I forget what I'm supposed to do. The most important things I'm supposed to do, I don't do, and it just goes out of line. So it's out of whack. If meditation is different from prayer. I will tell you that meditation is just quiet, just being quiet in calmness, just calming your body down, getting control of your mind, feeling your body, feeling what's actually going on, how you're breathing, feeling everything about your body. That's really, really it. And just being in connection. But it's a healthy practice. It's a healthy practice for you. Like I said, I've been doing it since 2013, and everything in my world now is so much calmer because I have always had anxiety, never knowing it was anxiety, just thought it was like independence. I put it in the category of independence. I'm running around and doing things with people and, don't want no man and all the crazy stuff, and I'm doing all this stuff. It was anxiety. And I didn't know it was anxiety. Not until I went to China and I found out it was anxiety. But, and I learned that is one of the things that gets me back, where I need to be. So if I found myself getting off kilter, no matter where I am, I calm it down. I calm it down. I bring it to a good level. All right. So we went through 7 of them quickly. Number 8 is listen to your gut. Number 9, regular self-care. Number 10, list your accomplishments. And I'm just going to tell you a quick story about this. I did this with my friends one day. I said, one day I was looking at my resume, and I don't know why I was looking at it. I must have found it inside of some papers. I was like, didn't realize that I did so many amazing things. I said, oh my goodness, I did that. Completely forgot about it. Why? Why did I forget about it? Because it wasn't important. It was like I did it because everybody expected me to do it. So it was just like, oh, I did that. And I started seeing all the things that I did. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go out and have like a little drink or something. I don't know. I'm just going to go out, have a party, dancing with my friends. So I call up my friends. They're like, oh, yeah, we're down. So we go out. They're like, what are we celebrating? I said, my resume. They were like, what? So I was like, my resume. And I told them the story I just told you. They was like, oh, we got to do this. My friends started doing it and they called me up. Oh my gosh. I can't even, I forgot that I did so many marvelous things. We need to celebrate ourselves. That's what the list of accomplishments are. I'm going to say, that's it. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. 11, practice forgiveness. We know about that. 12, don't be afraid to say no, not with a comma, but with a period. No. When you're feeling overwhelmed, no more. I can't do anything more. 13, leaving your comfort zone. This is really a good one. This is excellent one. Leaving your comfort zone is the flip side of don't be afraid to say no. It's the flip side of that, because you may not go to, say, I don't know. I will say you may not like, okay, canoeing. You never did any canoeing, but why not do it if somebody said, hey, let's go canoeing. I'll show you how. Take a chance. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of that comfort zone. Do something. Challenge yourself to new ways. 14, list positive traits in all your friends. Ooh, scary. Okay. Find some positive traits about your friends. That'll tell you a whole lot about why you chose them and how important you're trusting yourself to choose them. Oh, I love this one. Be childlike. Be child. Enjoy running. My favorite thing in the wintertime is, and probably yours too, is making snow angels. My second best thing, I think, is jumping in piles of clean leaves, not dirty ones, but clean ones, and jumping around. And I do that with my grandkids. So be childlike sometimes. Crack up laughing. Really just open up heartily and just laugh. Let it out. Just like, don't do a cute little laugh, but do like a whole hearty laugh. Something really makes you laugh from your gut, and be really just jovial about it, just have fun with it, like a child, right? So I said I wasn't going to do all of them, but I think I did. I'm still going to put it in the event, all 15, but we have covered how to love yourself and help that adult in us reparent our inner child. So we take care of the adult, we take care of the inner child. All right. I hope that you got something out of this today. I hope you did some homework yesterday. I know there was a lot to do. There is a lot to do, but if we look at what we were talking about today, try to do at least some of them, or maybe two. Let's Let's challenge ourselves to do 3 of those things, the tips that we talked about today as homework. Okay. So now is question time. If you have any questions, you can either. Okay, Lisa has a question. Go ahead, Lisa. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Lisa. We
There we
can hear
go.
you.
Got to hit the
All right.
button.
Yes.
So my problem that I'm trying to work on.
No, no, no problem.
No.
Challenge.
Okay,
Challenge.
challenge. Sorry, I forgot the words. I forgot the words. And you know what? You're right about that. How you use the words, which words you use can really change, like
The
even a bad
reality.
moment. Like
Yeah.
even just a bad moment, like all of a sudden it just something happens and it like triggers your memory and you
Hmm.
just lose it.
Yeah.
But you're right, if you just rethink,
Yep.
you know,
Exactly.
and and I noticed when I really started doing this, trying to heal myself. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, I do have a therapist,
Right.
and we've been
That's
working a
important.
long time, and it took like 2 years, no, 3 years
Hmm.
before I could even go into my past to tell her
Hmm.
why I was there.
Right.
And it's very hard when all of a sudden something triggers you from the past and you
Hmm.
go back to what you used to do as a
Hmm.
child because that's
True.
all you knew. You didn't learn how people normally deal with each other or events, perhaps. And
Mhm.
I think for me, the turning point was when I was down along the shore in New Haven area in Connecticut. And I found this like little cove by
Mhm.
the shore. And it's, you have to walk down, there's steps so you can actually walk down to the water, but there's like, it's like a natural amphitheater because it
Mhm.
has stone walls above you, on
Mhm.
the sides of you. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Um, when I found that, that's where I could go to meditate when I like when you just can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really do have to find
Yeah.
a place that you can. I don't know if it's let go or
Hmm.
what, but
To get out of your
uh,
comfort zone. Yeah.
yeah, it really just is. It was like mind blowing for me.
Hmm.
The other thing I have a real quick question is, unfortunately, this week just went to kablooey. This
That's okay.
I only got to get through one halfway, so I apologize if this isn't in this segment, but perhaps you
Okay.
can give me a suggestion.
Okay.
My problem is saying no,
Mm.
and I have fibro, blah 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 blah. So
Okay.
I have some health issues,
Hmm.
and the problem is I run myself ragged.
Hmm.
And my friends know I do that.
Hmm.
And they'll say, okay, now you're going too far. Okay.
Right.
Yes, I understand, but you need to stop.
Right.
However, my son, I can't, we didn't have, unfortunately, I did stop some of the things from my growing up that I broke the cycle in some,
Mhm.
but this one I have not. As far as it was a nasty divorce between his father and I.
Yeah.
He had a nasty experience with his
Hmm.
stepmom and father. So,
Hmm.
and they told, like, I had my family and
Hmm.
his father and
I got you. I know
stepmother.
what it is.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
To the
Hmm.
point that he thinks I am a piece of shit. I am a drama queen.
Hmm.
I am always sick. Well, yeah, you know, and he keeps asking me
Hmm.
how to do things.
Hmm.
he
Right.
does have, he's an on the road driver. But anyways, that's not an excuse because he's
Right.
31 now.
Right. Right.
How do I give myself permission to stop saying yes to him all the time? Because there's times physically I run out and I literally have fallen or whatever
What you're
because I'm
doing
so
is what
exhausted.
you're doing. What you're doing is parenting through guilt.
Right.
You feel guilty about some things that you didn't have control over,
Right.
but your son experienced them. And listen, let's be really real. He knows it at this age. He may not ever say it to you out of his mouth, but in the back of his head, he knows I got her. So she's got
Yeah.
to do what I want. Okay, and that, but that's children, and you got to arrested development. We talked about the arrested development. So how do you get from that? Now you're going to have to forgive yourself.
See, I know my counselor and I are working on that. And it's like, I just
No, you're
feel
going to
like
have
I
to say,
know how to
I
do it.
didn't know. I'm sorry. You're going to say sorry to yourself. I didn't know that this was happening, but I can't pay for it anymore. I've done my best. I brought you to this place. All we can do is be, now you're adult to adult. I'm mom adult, you son adult. Now we're adult to adult. I can only do what I can do, and I must say no right now because I need to save myself. And this is what I used to do for my son. So one of my sons, I used to parent from guilt because his father was really not nice to him.
Mm.
And he's 42 right now. So what I had to do was say to myself, if I wasn't here, who would he be talking to? Who would he be talking to?
True.
Nobody. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever he would ask me something and I would say, let me think about doing it, if I wasn't here, what would he do? You're going to have to get really tough with yourself, not with him, with yourself. You're going to have to get really tough and real with yourself because your friends can say it, but you're going to have to get tough on yourself and say, hey, I know that I've done my best. I've made up. Even if I can't make up, I've done my best to make it clear. Now, here's another thing that might be making you do this, moving forward from this. You didn't say, let's just say his name is Ken. Ken, I'm sorry that I wasn't there when the stepmother did what she did to you. I'm sorry that your father was whatever he was. I'm sorry that we had a divorce, but I can't keep paying for it. You are now an adult, and we have to act as adults, both of us. I don't have the fortitude. I'm getting older. I'm not doing you any good service by allowing you to continue to use me. I love you, but it won't continue. You're gonna be tough with yourself.
Yeah. See,
You,
but, and I say that to myself every time, we start to go into mom, I need you too. But then I don't know, it's like,
but do
well,
you say no? Do you say no with a comma? Do you go no? I can't do that.
most of the time.
Yeah. No.
This last time, however, didn't. And
That's
again,
good.
yeah, but sometimes depending on where I am with my health and my whole
Right.
body,
Right.
self, mind, sometimes he'll make
Yeah, but
quick
are you
that
turning that off? You gotta turn that off.
he knows will trigger
Right.
me.
And but
And
see
we
what I'm
end up,
saying? See what
so
you're saying to me? You have the
yeah.
answers. You have the answers. So when he gets it, if you're saying no, no, bite your tongue, put your tongue in the back of your throat, and just clamp down on your teeth. No. And whatever he's saying, don't open your mouth. You have to now strategically you have to do that. You have to start doing that because you're not doing him a service and you're not doing because
No,
when you're gone,
exactly.
you're not doing him a service. and he's going to be crippled. So and then you want to live your best life right now because you're in your last 1/3. You're
Right.
not getting anything good about it. You have to start creating boundaries. So it's not trying. Take a one step, just like you did today, and no matter what he said, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and hang the phone up, or move from where he is, the perimeter where he is. No.
I don't feel as guilty doing that because I've been doing this now for a little while,
Yeah.
and it still feels very wrong
Right,
because
because you feel guilty, right?
I feel guilty, and I've always been the fixer,
Mm-hmm.
you
No
know,
more. No
take
more.
care of people.
You
And
tell God, say,
I
God, I
don't
give
know.
you. No, tell God, I renounce this job as being the fixer. I was never a fixer. I was a change agent, but I was never a fixer. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
on assignment. What you did was took on a role that you don't need. It wasn't your assignment. So when we always out of line with something, like and we're always having struggles with it, it's because we took on an assignment that wasn't ours. So that's not your assignment.
Mm.
So you're going to have to forgive yourself and say, I just didn't have the fortitude. Now I don't have it anymore. I've done the best I can to this point. Now I can only preserve my 1/3 of life right now and enjoy that. And he, as a young adult, is going to have to make his way.
Yeah, but I guess
No
not
but.
only
But
not
should not
only
ever be
is
in
it,
the
yeah,
conversation. No
I
more
know
buts.
I have to
No more
stop.
buts. No more buts. Unless you
I
talk about your
agree.
bottom that you're sitting on, but no more buts in your life. No more.
Just a really quick thing. One more thing, because I know I
Mhm.
don't want to, keep you up. But when I got sick really bad, life altering in
Mhm.
2013. And I uh, was sick for a couple years. Recovery was about 5. And so,
I hate to
but
cut you, but it's 6:03, and I know
oh, okay, you
people
gotta
here.
go.
But
But
yeah,
all right, well,
you can
anyways,
email me or you can send me the
yeah,
question. You can question
all
me.
right, I
All right.
will. Thank you
All
very much.
right.
I'm
I'm
so
sorry,
glad that we finally
everyone.
got to,
We
yeah,
went over.
all
But
right, sorry.
tomorrow is the last day, and we'll have more question time. So it'll be just a wrap up in the summary, find out what what homework you got to, and then we'll have question and answer, like 30 minutes of questions and answers. Okay? Is that
Mhm.
is that okay with everyone? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye now.
Bye.